work today, Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see, it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee, it's Mike and the Minifans.
Wow, thank you, Warden. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Mike and the Minifans, the longest recorded hour in broadcast history. I'm joined by producer hopefuls. I guess only one, Andrew Augustus, only one that showed up on time. We're getting word. John Rich said his train doesn't come in till 9:52. So it's a sad day for John Rich. Maybe he could hop on Menors Live. Who knows? But we got Justin, Andrew Augustus. We got Quinlan and Bill McNeil's joining us shortly, hopefully. But how are you, boys?
How's it going, BA?
He's Tommy. You know, he's you know,
there he is.
Arrives late.
Hey, Tommy just arrived from the Ramrod, brother.
Manners, I'm not acknowledging you tonight. You fucked me big time this week. And I'm not even a bottom, so fuck you.
What did I do? I didn't do
what
anything.
did I do? BA, thank you for the invite. Justin, thank you very much. Andrew, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Tommy.
Manners did nothing wrong.
Tommy fan. I didn't do anything.
Fuck you, Manners.
Manners did nothing wrong.
I didn't.
No, but you're right though. It's me because I should have I got like too caught up in myself that night and the next day that like I blame myself for those whole 2 days for sure. That's definitely. Just 100% on me. Shut up, Manners.
You gotta look inward sometimes, Tommy.
100% on me. That's not. That's the first. Like I don't really have much to say tonight. I don't think. Like, but whatever happened on Monday, whatever. Shut up, Manners. What happened on Monday night? What happened on Monday night was not Kirk's fault. It was not.
Tommy, you really started off the show not saying too much. That's for sure, brother.
Thank you.
But we'll start the show. Manners actually told me to axe this. The Kirk was right opening statement, but with because of the people demanded it, I will start the show with the Kirk was right moment. Your favorites. So we'll go with Justin first.
Kirk is right. There's nothing more satisfying than like a nice shit.
Oh, okay.
Like a great shit where like, you know, you're full and you just gotta plop it out. There's nothing more satisfying in the entire world.
That's a good one. That's an underrated one. You don't really hear that too often. How about you, Quinlan? Kirk was right moment. Do you have one?
Come back to me.
Okay. Okay. Augustus, how many do you have? You have probably 4 or 5.
I got a bunch. One is just the fact that I'm annoying, so he nailed that one on the head for sure. The other one I would have to say that he was right about is when Dave was taking back the company, that it's kind of reinvigorating everything and getting everyone back into, all right, I need this. Let's get money. Let's get that Milton kind of push going again. So Kirk's right. Everyone seems to be hungry.
Okay. Quinlan, you ready now, brother?
Yes, I too wish that Mick was in Vegas the night of the shooting.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
I think we all do.
That's a good one.
Unanimous.
Mick again, no show Mick. He said he's working, whatever. I would like to see, we're going to be on for a while between Menors Live. I'd like to see if he could call in or if he does anything or if he just no shows. I think he's no show Mick. But Justin, is that the same
You
shirt
put your
wore
feet
in-
up, fucking dickhead. Here we go.
Oh.
Look at that. Fucking, and he blames me for his attitude. Jesus.
You got to look inward, Tommy.
So obviously in the
Wheeling.
chat that Joanne made earlier this week, he said after the show today that he wasn't able to come on. Did at one point he said he could come on?
We just assumed.
Oh, okay. So it's not entirely.
Like, you would think something like this, you would know 3-4 days in advance that you could say, hey, that night doesn't work for me. Like you could have said it before going on. To say it after dropping some pretty serious shit on the show and then to say, oh no, now I can't. It's just it's another coincidence that he can't own up for his words.
I'd like
Go
to
ahead,
address.
Tom.
He's
the
not
bullshit
working.
from-
He's eating cake somewhere.
It's
Go
not
ahead,
even
Tommy.
that good. I've eaten ass that's better than the cake that he's gotten from his girlfriend. Okay.
There we go.
Anyways, so I
was a
never
good one.
dated.
Derek Caracas.
I never dated guys in college. That was bullshit. Like today, I think he just was throwing bullshit out there because he wanted to shit on me because he got upset because I put more balls in his voice when I fucked with it on the show last week. Yes, it was a bad bit, Justin. I agree. I tried though. I tried,
It's
but
okay.
I didn't really start messing with guys consistently probably till 2015. Like it was always there, but like I never did it in college. Curry's too small. It like you couldn't. It would have gotten out way sooner. Trust me.
When you were saying on the show, you're like, I'm single, I'm 32. Like,
Yeah.
don't ask me this. I was like, I'm single and 32, but I'm not pounding ass, you know. So I was like, oh, we got Bill McNeil.
Hey, how are you?
Bill McNeil, producer at 98.5. Jeff Williams, Pat from Amesbury's better looking brother. How are you, Bill?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Or do you have a
So Bill, are you actually getting a chance to try out?
Yes, Cullinane emailed me earlier tonight and said this week, not this week, but the week following. So the week of the 11th.
And does the talent run in the family? Obviously, your brother's doing a super great job on the 420 show, Electric, on air. Does the talent run in the family?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, I'm the one that's actually a professional. He's not. So
Okay, yeah,
we'll go
definitely.
from there.
Beautiful, Bill.
He's also a rapist.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
Jesus.
Jesus
So
Call my
we actually
brother
have
a fake virus.
there we go, Billy boy.
Didn't say much during.
What do you say, Augustus?
Didn't Menor say at the beginning of this he wasn't going to talk much during this? He's going to try to stay.
He's going to stay involved. Actually, one of the comments from Fez said, Justin, are you on the one shirt a month club because you're wearing the same shirt as earlier today?
Oh, no, I just haven't showered. I got home and I worked out in the yard and I just haven't had a chance to shower and change yet. So still wearing my beautiful purple shirt.
Hey, Bill, or Jeff, or whatever your name is. Do you have like an alias that you produce under? Is that Bill? Is that
No, it's not Bill. Bill is a short story. It's a character from a favorite television show of mine, played by Phil Hartman, who is one of my favorite actors. And it's the name I use when I play hockey on PlayStation. And it just basically developed into this character that I used on the 420 show.
It's a John Rich Levels story. Hey, so you get a chance to rehearse your pitch just give us your 60-second elevator pitch for being the producer of the Kirk Minifans show, and it's like a rehearsal for when you actually do it next week.
Well, I'm hard of selling myself, so all I can say is I'm a professional. I've been doing this for 8 years. I know what I'm doing. I know how to make things sound right. Me and Kirk can get together, put our heads together, and we can get something going, and we'll make fucking money.
Oh, I like it. So this is a real competition for Quinlan. The two real radio professionals looking for a job.
Tommy's my boy. We go way back.
We go way back. 1510 boys. Yep.
1510 boys, man.
Suffers
Wow.
through hell.
Is that like a code to get in the ramrod? You and Bill used to go in there.
Yeah, there you
They
go.
get to a bathhouse in Providence. The 1510 boys. No, we worked for WMEX in Quincy. So
We both had the pleasure of producing Joe Ligotti.
Wow.
And here he is.
We got John Rich.
Hey, John.
live from the chain.
Yo, what's up, guys? Can you y'all hear me okay?
Yeah. It's a shame you can't play any of those drops. Can you hear us?
Dude, I don't know if this is going to work on the train.
Okay.
He's trying.
Can I just ask
I
you?
have to wait till I get off the train at like 9.
don't get stabbed. Don't get stabbed. Watch out. Don't get pushed onto the tracks.
But
I can't hear shit.
that's all right,
Okay.
John. Thanks. But you see, you have Bill McNeil.
That was actually
He's-
better than his performance today.
Oh, John was great today.
I
He was
thought John.
terrible.
I thought
He
John-
was
back, baby.
terrible.
I thought John was pretty good today, but you see John Rich, he's on the
Dude, I
train
got
trying to
let
get-
go.
All right, bye.
Yeah, I think John needs to, if he comes on after the train. But you see John Rich, he's on the train coming on. You see Bill McNeil, he's at work coming on. You see Quinlan Augustus coming on, and Mick just constantly disappoints. I don't think he was that good today. And Quinlan, I wanted to start with you. What did you think about him? He said you weren't. He said you came out before. He said you weren't gay. He was going at you. Like what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, no, like again, I was dating girls in college. Like this happened after I got out of college, and there was always interest there. But again, that's what it's like being in the closet. My dad doesn't like, my parents obviously had an idea. I'm 32. All my best friends are married with kids, and I'm just doing radio, living by myself in Providence, bopping around from place to place, but I never talked about it. I started coming out to my friends earlier this year, my close circle, and that's it. Like, there's no like big conspiracy or crazy story. Wherever he got that shit from is amazing. Now, clearly there are Minifans that listen to the show because there was a guy that called in earlier this week and talked about how he went to school with me and all this crazy shit about me. It's just like, whatever. I've got nothing to say to somebody that doesn't have a career still when he loses this thing. So, I mean, if I lose, I go back to my radio job in Providence and I keep on living my life. Like, life is great for me no matter what. I get to produce for Kirk for a couple of shows. If I don't win, I'm still doing what I do. He goes back to doing nothing and getting shitty cakes from his girlfriend.
Damn right.
Living under mommy and daddy.
Yeah, I don't know about him. But I want to just throw a question to the room. Who do you think the worst producer candidate is? And I'll start with Augustus. And not because I think you're the worst candidate. It's because I would want to start with you.
I'm the worst. I'll take it. But no, out of everyone, it has to be Mick, because he's got the technical side. But I think there's the other aspect to this is you're going to have to be able to handle this world. It's not an easy world to deal with. Justin knows that. So it can get pretty serious. And if you're the producer of the Kirk Minahan show, you can't take that kind of break from, like, have the fans get to you to that point that you have to take a step away from the show. It's just going to aggravate Kirk in the long term. And I think that's something you have to seriously consider.
So, Mick getting the shot to go in with Montante Friday, do you feel personally attacked about that? Like, don't you think you should have, like, you think you did a better job? Don't you think you should be there Friday with Montante as opposed to Mick?
No, not at all. Because I think for the content of the show, Mick and Montante actually genuinely will go back and forth at each other. And I think it's a genuine hate. I don't have a hate for anybody. I'm just kind of doing my thing. I feel like I'm like the candidate everyone forgets about, which is fine by me, because I don't want it to have to be about me. It's not about me.
Yeah, you're like the guy. So you're like the guy there was a guy in where I grew up in the municipal elections. He used to be an Elvis impersonator, and he would run for office every time. You're kind of that guy in the producer search, Quinlan, well, who's the worst? Who do you think?
It's Mick.
Mick?
Yeah.
Unanimous so far.
It's gonna be Justin.
I'm gonna go with Mick, but not for the reasons you guys were saying. I think just today really showed that I think he comes in and he has like some set ideas and he has like these bits planned out that he's going to do. I think like he had that saying today when Kirk said like, "Oh, you mean about Tommy being gay?" Like he had his, "Oh, you actually believe that?" Like he had that in his mind yesterday before he came in. Like he's going to say, and also he thinks he's on like the same level as Kirk. I talked to someone today who really put a good point where when they were listening to the show, they really see that I think Mick thinks like, oh, Kirk doesn't like me because Kirk sees himself in me. And I think like you have to stop thinking about it like that.
That's a bit delusional, I would say.
Yes.
Mick's a delusional guy. He looks like he's from the Bug's Life. That's his best quality, Like
well,
I don't.
I mean, I just think that like all of his like then he goes after Tommy and then he goes after Montante and then he goes after Jeff and then he goes and then like I truly do think he's schizophrenic because at one point today when I was listening back, he's like, when did you say about hopping on Mike and the Minifans? And no one mentioned anything about going on Mike and the Minifans, but like he's just convinced that he hears these conversations, whether it be
Well,
about
Kirk
Mike
did
and the
say
Minifan-
it. Kirk did say on the Tommy Quinlan episode that Mick didn't come on Mike and the Minifans, and that was one of the reasons he was originally crossed out, where because he's like he should do that kind of stuff, right? So Kirk did say that on the Sunday episode. So
maybe
He didn't pick up Kirk's call when Kirk called him on Sunday. You know, so
Can I just say one more thing?
Go ahead. I thought this was gonna be
think-
everyone talking over each other, but
I think today really was a.
you guys are real producer
I think
candidates.
I think
you know, you're letting
I think
people flow.
John Rich did a great job, but I do think he was overshadowed by. I think Mick did a worse job than John
I
Rich did
agree.
a better job. Like I think anyone who was producing today comes out a winner because the main story
Agree.
of the day isn't John Rich, you know, blew it
Okay.
away with this with the drops, with the sounds. I think it's wow, Mick is fucking the most hateable person in the Minifan world right now.
So look at Billy in
But
the
just-
studio
just-
at 98.5.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. I think Bill deserves a shot. Look at him. He's
Dark
Sounds like he's
working the
getting one.
room. Yeah. Justin, I
Can I
have a
just-
quick question for you. For you
Ooh,
though.
who's that in the background? Is that
Oh, we got another guy. Justin, I got a quick question for you. How do you feel about losing your job opportunity with the Yak?
I don't know if there ever was a job opportunity with the Yak.
Quinlan, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say just to what Justin was saying about Mick going like I deserved like Mick coming at me. I kind of expected that today because like I did the fucking stupid voice thing, but I also expect Montante to come
that
at
was
me.
my fault?
You know, like I expect all the people because like it's a competition, and you know I went in there with my little bit of like critiquing, quote unquote, everybody. So it's like to an extent, like yeah, you open yourself up to that. It's just when you start making up lies about people, like what you guys saw the other night was a real moment, and what you guys saw on Monday was a real moment. Like it's like it was real shit. So it's like I'm giving like that's genuinely me. Like I'm opening up to you guys, but like you know, let's not like make it more than what it is. Like, yeah, I was down, I was depressed, but I was down and depressed for different reasons. It had nothing to do with the show. The show is great. The Minifans are great. I've got nothing to complain about. Everybody's been nothing but supportive. It's about
You're not exactly bringing the energy tonight either. I mean, you're 2 from 2 at the
Oh,
moment.
shut the
so-
fuck up, will you? Please.
Oh, you are such a
What?
sensitive little bitch, aren't you? You are not going to survive the KMS show if you can't take a little
Mm-hmm.
gentle jab. Jesus. I bet you love a hard jab. And sorry, that was inappropriate.
Bill.
You didn't ask me.
sorry.
You didn't ask
Okay,
me
go
who
ahead,
the worst
Manners, go
candidate
ahead.
was. I just think it needs to be said, and everyone's been really polite. But I think John Rich's application today was all-time awful, and the only
No, it
thing
wasn't.
that
He was
overshadowed
honestly,
it was the fact that Mick was terrible. He had applause drops. He had 2-day-old stories. He clearly has no idea about the Kirk Minahan show. He
Yeah,
had
but
no
he had-
instincts. He had no talking points. The only thing I would say about him was, if he wants to be part of the world, that's a great attitude, and I welcome him in. But there's no way he can produce the show. I mean,
He
if
has
anyone else
ideas
brought
that would
in
make
a
the show
Seinfeld
money.
and an applause drop, they would
he
be
has
laughed out of
ideas
the
that would make
studio.
the show money with the video. He has a video side that would monetize the show.
Yes, and he stole our
Right,
ideas.
and that's
We
one
had
thing
a-
that I
he
regret.
stole
that I
our
didn't get to talk
TikTok
about the other
idea.
night, what
Connor.
I would do to
He
help
stole our
monetize the
TikTok
show. But
idea.
what he was talking,
Okay.
can I
Who did he steal it from, Manners?
What?
Who did he steal the TikTok idea from?
We were talking. Tommy and I were talking about it on
okay, shit,
Minifandom
man.
this week.
This idea that like these ideas are like cemented to whoever said it first. Like getting interns is not Mick's idea because he came on the show.
Agreed.
Putting clips on TikTok is not someone's idea
Agreed.
because they put it first. It doesn't make sense to be like, so like 3 months from now, if the KMS TikTok has 20,000 followers, are
It
you
would
guys
have
gonna be like
2 million, and it would absolutely send the listeners up. Like,
Rich,
I
Rich
think
came in with legitimate ideas today that would make Kirk money, I believe, and that's why I think
he would be a
I
good
think
assistant.
too-
But
I think
mean,
too, his idea of making him available to more barstool shows and personalities, I think that's an idea that not and many of the other producers could do, because they might not have that relationship with the people. But and I like the Kirk Barstool content. I think a lot of people
It's great.
like that. I think a lot of people like that. Like Kirk on Anus would be good. And then so I think that like the TikTok, whatever, the video design was a good one. But the bridging the gap between Kirk and Barstool even more. I think that's something that, because like Kirk said, he's only been on the rundown 2 times or 3 times, right? That's kind of bullshit, especially they've been doing a remote for a while. Kirk likes Kirk is more friendly with a lot of people. So I think that was an underrated part of his pitch.
Well, I
agree.
think no, go ahead.
Go
You
ahead,
go.
Justin.
No, go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
I think just to combat Menner's point about how, John came in and he just doesn't get the show. He had drops and things. The things he came in with were like good, like production ideas. Like he came in with drops. He tried the drops. At one point when he goes and he's like, I want to get, Gay Pat's thoughts on this. He starts calling Gay Pat. These are like good production moves that don't necessarily fit into KMS is not a normal show. And so I don't necessarily think it fits into it, which he is new to the KMS world. He'll be the first to tell you he's new to the KMS world.
John's a lovely guy.
So the idea that like he's going to come in and get the show right away is absolute. It's like it's putting him at an unfair advantage. Then why even have him come in if he doesn't? I mean, he hasn't listened. There's 700 shows. He doesn't get the show.
But also, Tommy, are you that big of a listener?
Can I just finish my thing real quick? Like, who else didn't really get the show when they first started? If you go back and listen, is Steve Robinson. When he started the show in the first episode, Kirk burps and Steve, I think, is like, we're not really going to do that, right? And Kirk's like, what are you talking? Like sometimes it takes a producer a little bit to get the show. Steve was posting like, hey, did you see like fucking Bergeron just scored a fucking hattie in, game 7 or whatever he posted before it. Like sometimes it takes a producer a little bit. So I think, yes, while John is at a disadvantage, I don't think he's cemented in the fact that he won't change on these things.
Actually, Bill, who's the worst candidate for producer?
I'd have to say it was that Mick kid. I saw the show today. That kid's a fucking retard. Like, I don't know what the hell's up with him, man. He just sat there. He sat there with his hat, like, what was it, like this? Like, thinking he's, like, all cool and shit. It's like, and then clowning on my boy Tommy for no fucking reason. Like, fuck that.
Love you.
I got you, Tommy.
Wow.
Love you, sweetie.
Wow, interesting. Some chemistry between Billy and Quinlan. I like it. But Tommy, like you don't seem like for me, and I could be wrong, like casual observer, you don't seem like a huge like diehard fan of the show. I know you said you started listening 2 years ago, but like, would you say you're a huge, like, would you say you're like a huge diehard fan, or you're like more of a casual guy?
I was listening to Kirk when he was on EI. Like I would say like this incarnation of the show, if you had to tell me if I was listening more to the Steve era or to the Dave era I'm more engaged with than I was with the Steve era. I always knew what was going on with the Steve era, but I wasn't listening as closely as I did during the Dave era. I have no problem admitting that. But I was listening to Kirk when he was on EI. I would call Kirk, and I would call Kirk and Jerry before my radio shows when I was doing my stuff in Florida. So that's why I've always idolized and looked up to Kirk, because I've followed how he got fucked with in, EEI, and then I saw how he just head down, push through, and he's built what he's built.
So
and
if I ask you,
now,
Poppy, go ahead. Spencer's asleep. So Poppy in the chat has said, ask Quinlan what a DD-214 is. Do you know what that is?
Isn't DD-214 have to do veteran status?
Okay. And do you know how it relates to the show?
I do.
VFW?
No. What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name?
Steve from Providence.
Ben
Albright. Benjamin
Albright.
Ben Albright.
So just like
there are going to be things that I've missed out on because I do my own. I still had my own shit going on too, but like, okay. But my problem the other night, and the reason why I panicked the way I did is because I went in there trying to produce a radio show. I went in there with a radio producer's mindset, and that just didn't work. So that's why I felt like I imploded the way I did.
Okay. We got a question in the comments. It said, question for Grimace. How is he very close? How is Carly doing? Is that for Justin?
She's great.
She's great. All right, beautiful. Justin, I have a question for you, and this kind of relates. Like you were in control of the KMS Twitter account. That would be something a new producer would do. Back in the day, you probably blocked like 50 to 100 people on the KMS Twitter account. Like, was that like a Kirk or Steve direction? And do you think a producer should be doing that kind of stuff?
I don't remember necessarily blocking. I probably did. I think it's up to the show what the show's doing at the time.
Okay, so you
Can I
want
ask Justin a question? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Clement.
Where do you want to see the show grow the most?
I just want to see a good show.
Sure, but like if you could change anything, if you could add anything, what would it be?
Like, how would I want to see it get bigger?
Yeah.
Like,
what would you like to, how would you like to see it grow?
I'm not good at directing the show. I think Kirk is his vision.
No. I'm not asking from a producer for like what you would do. I'm just asking like what would you as a listener like to see Kirk accomplish?
Just continue putting out great content.
Okay.
Justin's rattled, I think.
Not rattled.
So
Rattled.
Quinlan looks like Matt Carano. Probably acts that. Did you dance to your own song? Would you dance to your own song in Sacco? It's a deep cut.
I probably would.
Okay. Okay.
If I get invited to Sacco, I don't know if I'm going to get invited to Sacco. I don't know if I'm a finalist. Like,
you didn't get a ticket?
Who the fuck knows?
You didn't get a ticket?
I figured that the finalists would pretty much be. I didn't,
Ooh.
I didn't realize that I was supposed to get a ticket. Nobody communicated to me, hey, go get a ticket. I figured because I'm part of the whole experience.
Tommy.
I made a ring.
Yeah, you'll get your VIP pass. Don't worry. They send them out to all
Okay.
the Made Minifans. Don't worry.
I made arrangements before. I knew I was going in the day of, so I knew I wouldn't be able to buy them. So I made my arrangements beforehand.
Yeah, but like if I'm driving up there the day of and driving back home, like I don't, like I'm trying to figure out like what else I would need to do if I'm part of the show. Like regardless if I win or lose, I'm still part of the whole fucking thing. Like if I gotta yeah.
Interesting. Augustus, what is your take on
why is it interesting? Why is it interesting?
Well, I would think, okay, the Sacco show is the producer like finale, and I would be like, I bought my ticket to Sacco because I'm a fan or whatever.
I'm in the fucking producer race.
But now you're assuming that you're
I made sure I had one. Like
but if I'm not in it, then
you don't want to go.
Then I'm fine. Like, why would I go at that point?
Because you like the show.
I like the show, but I lost, so I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be mad too if I don't get it. But you know what? I'm still gonna go and have a good time because the show's bigger than me. It's bigger than the whole experience. It's a fun time.
Like this guy.
Like you can't assume anything out of it.
Fuck Augustus, man.
Killing it tonight, Augustus.
Augustus, you know what?
Maybe Quinlan should never come on the network because it's only damaging his chances. Like,
all right. I mean, I don't know what I don't know what you want.
No,
I'm trying to help you.
Poppy Mode said,
stop helping me. It doesn't.
Poppy Mode said, Augustus, you will be a pussy like Cullinane and not interact with Minifans unless they're Kirk approved. Like, will you be a pussy like Cullinane and not interact with Minifans unless they're Kirk approved?
I mean, I will follow Kirk's direction. If he says leave those guys are done, they're done. It's his show, it's his account, it's his name on it. It's not that hard to listen to them, big guy.
That's that. Augustus Augustus is probably the first guy that comes on the network and it comes off looking good. Do you have that Mayo graphic? Do you have that Mayo graphic? Did you guys see the Mayo graphic?
I have not.
Yes.
So Mayo did a fucking Rain Man style graphic on the candidates based off KMS knowledge, technical abilities, Kirk abilities, social media, intern management, proven committed to content per total score, and shockingly, Augustus is number one on this. It seems number one in the rankings here.
Did he just pull these numbers out of his ass, or?
Pretty sure.
I think he has a system. But the only thing is the Kirk ability can they mesh with Kirk for 2 years? I think like that is weird. I don't know. Maybe now looking at it, I think Montante is low on this.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, because you've heard it from Kirk before. Like it's the biggest issue Kirk and Dave have with Montante is the technical side, but Kirk likes having him in when he can come in and be kind of that rotating third chair. I think it's a great addition to the show. It's just at the end of the day, this is a podcast. This is broadcast on YouTube Live. It has to get out there. And like in my scenario, when I went, then the whole internet to the whole building went down. So now what was one of the first things I did when I got home? I started looking up wireless modems for download speeds to see if that situation happens again. I now have a backup of a 5G hotspot I can just throw up and hopefully get back on YouTube Live. It's not going to be perfect, but it's something you could switch up in kind of in the moment. Whereas would Montante even think to have that backup? I showed up with extra headphones and extra microphone. I came prepared in case if anything broke. I just wanted to have a backup to save my ass.
Do you think they don't have backups there?
They don't.
You can't assume anything. If that's the number one mistake when you're.
Did you ask?
No, I don't have to ask
Wait,
because
wait,
I
you
want to
said-
come prepared.
You
I
say
want to be
backups
as
for
prepared as
internet.
I can when I walk through the door.
I mean, I think you could ask if for certain equipment things for sure. You know,
You can.
I
but
asked Cullinane if I should bring headphones or do I, you know, so you know, you could always reach out. You know,
You-
it's not.
you
that-
could,
you
but
could
wouldn't
swing
you want
that.
to be
Yeah.
proactive about it and be like, hey, I'm prepared. So if anything does happen, in case they don't
That's
happen.
why you reach out ahead of time. I mean, you know, I get what you're trying to do, but you could always, you know, just reach out ahead of time too.
Being prepared. Negative against me. Take it.
So it seems like there's
Why
a little
did you
bit of
stay
a-
around so long after the show?
Because they were filming, they were doing some live streaming that Kirk was taking a part of. So I wanted to learn how to do that, what software they used, how to do a backup recording in case anything failed. Just get the whole knowledge about it. I asked Dave if we were talking. I go, do you mind if I say to look, how do they do this? And he goes, yeah.
So you
mind.
never,
Sorry,
so
man.
Dave never like hinted like maybe you should get out of here.
I asked if he told me to leave, I would have left. I asked him, I go, Dave, do you
I
mind
think
if
that's
I
good on
stay?"
Andrew.
You, Augustus, you do seem like a guy that you give the vibe that you would overstay your welcome, but that's not necessarily a criticism because like you're in there, you're shooting your shot, right? Like what, if you want to stay all day, stay all day. Like it shows that you would probably sleep in the studio if you had to, right?
I mean, it's a night away from the wife.
I actually did enjoy Justin's all-nighter during 4th of July.
It was like
cooking.
12 hours.
Well, I mean, he
Wow.
stayed up all night. No, and he slept through some of it, but I still watched it. So
Quinlan, is that you trying to show that you know like inside Kirk knowledge with that reference?
late nights in the studio. It's a late night in reference studio.
That's true. Bill, you might be doing that. What do you think about all
No,
this?
I'm good. What's up? What was that
What
again?
what do you think about all this going on? What do you think?
What, the whole producer gimmick?
Give me okay. Go. What do you think? You think Augustus stays for 6 hours after his job is weird? Is it prepared? Is he over prepared? Like, what would you do in that scenario?
I like his drive. I feel like he impressed me during his show. I would say that. For someone who has no technical background in this, I feel like he came in preprepared. I feel like he
Years of
gave
it.
his best shot.
I think Jeff could come down the straight for the job. I think that Jeff's a dark horse. I think he could be there
Yeah,
at soccer.
he's
Unlike
been-
Quinlan, he'll be, watching the pay-per-view at home with his feet up on the desk, like a big dick out.
Bill is
You're
my dark
fantasizing,
horse
Manners.
because Bill is my dark horse because he has the connection to Pat. Like Pat's. What did you say, Quinlan?
So keep fantasizing, Manners.
We'll get to
I did
that
think
later.
it was funny when I called in the other day, and right away Kirk knew that Pat was my brother and was like, "Yeah, you're related to somebody I find disgusting." So I popped for that.
Yeah, well, you have an ugly brother, man. Even though you guys are twins,
Well, that's
he's the
why I
ugly
grew the
one.
beard out so I wouldn't look like him.
Oh, Quinlan's gone. Quinlan's gone.
No, I'm here.
Uh,
I got you in my headphones. I'm just checking on my dinner.
Oh, okay, cool, man.
Can we
Nice.
steak?
Quinlan's always on Mentor's Live. Like I've never seen someone like not look at the screen once. It was crazy. But
Yeah, and he just gets up and has dinner in the middle of the mic and the Minifans. I mean, this guy's a gigantic asshole. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if John Rich is a really nice guy from the Midwest, Tommy's the exact opposite. Like,
I'm still fucking participating in the show, you fucking dick.
Okay, let's not
That's
get
funny.
too excited there, Mick.
But I think Bill is a dark horse candidate. Producer 98.5, that's like a plus. He is twin brothers with Pat from Amesbury, the 420 guy. Twins. Pat's twin brother. Pat.
Yes, we're twin brothers.
Pat's twin brother. Pat's been to every live show, like a super Minifan.
Pat's a super Minifan. I, on the other hand, am not a regular listener.
Yeah, but at least you admit it, unlike
yeah. I'll say that
Actually,
that might be what hurts me in the end, but you know, I've admitted it. I'm not like an everyday listener. You know, I listen when.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I listen when you know, he's talking about, like, you know, the drama that goes on in our industry, especially the local stuff. And if I know that, you know, Pat's going to be on with his 420 bullshit, you know, I'll listen then. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not a regular everyday listener. I didn't know who Augustus was. You know, I don't know who.
Did you see your brother with Blind Mike?
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
You have thoughts?
I thought it was a decent show. I thought it was a little short for my standards. I just
think maybe your brother should just lay off the bongs for like 5 minutes when he gets somebody.
Well, that's
on.
what happens when you have a show that's based on weed. Is you're
you
high
can
as fuck during the show.
Yeah, but you should still be able to talk. Like, you don't have
No,
to be
I
ripping
agree.
bongs while Blind Mike's sitting there. Like, anyway, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. That's the gimmick of the show. I mean, so I can't hate him on it.
Not
But
really.
it is what it is. It is. Yes, pig virus.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Manners wants to smooch Quinlan as bad as Justin wants to sniff the seat of the wheel. Carly's
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
not nice.
I like Tommy. I've always liked Tommy.
Yeah, I think you like him too much. What was I getting at? So, but I think Bill is a really big dark horse candidate. I would like him. I would like to get him to get a legit shot for sure.
So your biggest concern with me is that you don't think I'm a big fan?
No. I thought your episode this week was the best. I think it was actually the second best. I think the episode today was the best one, but I think
today sucked.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Like, I don't know why, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it flowed. I thought the Justin leaving episode was kind of the worst, in my opinion. I thought it was funny, but it also is like it kind of lost momentum. I thought the Quinlan episode was the second best this week, and then the Augustus. But I don't know. Re-listening to the Augustus, they were all really good. Like, it's not. We're comparing 4 great episodes, so it's not like one was bad. But then listening to the Augustus episode, and then him saying how he had to choose between going to New York or getting the dog was just, I was like, I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on with this guy? And actually, I had a question for Augustus. Like, do you think your lack of ability to communicate is going to affect your role as a producer?
I actually think if I get to go in a second time, it's going to be better, just because when you listen to the show, you can kind of think you're going in prepared one way, but when you're sitting in there, it's a completely different animal. Especially Kirk is so quick, pivots from story to story, trying to follow it around. So definitely kind of you get a little shell shocked as it goes on. But definitely I think I'm going to get better-ish. Not like I'm not going to start speaking Pucinian society well, but at least I'll be able to string together a couple sentences.
Yeah. So Justin, you left, like you were offered a job. You probably were the front runner, then you left. I think it was primarily about dealing with, like, it's tough for you to deal with the hardcore fans. And like the example, like the classic example, everyone wants me to bring it up. The sneakers honking the horn and you freaking out about it. It's like, do you think like you did it because like stuff like that would happen and you're like, I don't want to deal with it. It wouldn't be right. Or was it more about like, do you think you're going to disappoint Kirk, or is just the fans, like, they're making jokes about Carly, they're making jokes about everything? Do you think that gets to you a little bit too much?
No, I definitely say that doesn't. I'm not going to say that doesn't affect me, but I just think that if you look at it from an objective eye, and me taking myself out of, if I was just looking at the candidates. You know, when Kirk says, like, I'm going to this next producer, I'm going to put him through hell. It's going to be this. I go, I love the show. I'm not sure I can handle that. I don't want to try to get this job. And then 2 months later, I'm completely, out the door. So I thought I thought I did the right thing by bringing it on air and doing it there. Obviously, looking back, that wasn't the right way to go. I should have just texted Kirk or Dave on Monday or Sunday and tried to get rid of it then.
So
But
I just
Justin,
wanna...
could you not?
Okay, go ahead.
Could you just not be the you're working at another job? Could you not still do 20, 30 hours a week as the assistant producer at KMS and do 2 jobs? Because they want to get 2 people. They want a main producer and then some interns or juniors who they'll pay. Could you do 20 hours for Kirk a week under somebody, under Quinlan, for example?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't think it's not something. It's not something. Well, if I have a full-time job somewhere else, I can't also contribute 30, 40 hours a week.
I said 20. I thought you worked
20.
at night. I
work all day.
Okay.
But I think you're definitely a critical part of the show, no matter what, whether you're an assistant producer or not. Shut the fuck up. Your videos at Plymouth, I thought were great. I thought your acting was really strong.
It was all Kirk's
you were.
idea.
Yeah, but you were still really good.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I'm not trying to bullshit you here. I think you're a huge part of the show. I agree. I thought you were front runner too going into Tuesday.
I appreciate it.
So Justin, I spoke about this earlier. A lot of people were blocked that they were the so-and-so haters, but as time would tell, these guys are probably the biggest fans. Sneakers, Quinlan talk shit about Sneakers. Now you bend the knee to him. Do you regret the stuff with Sneakers? He goes on the show. Him and Kirk actually talk frequently. It seems like everyone was really wrong about Sneakers. Sneakers was actually
he seems like a big fan
guy
of the show. Yeah, I guess if I could go back in time, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't block him. I mean, he's a big fan of the show. He's a passionate guy.
Wow, that's a great moment. That's a great moment. I think that Sneakers would love that.
Should we let Tommy eat? Tommy, want to eat, buddy?
No, I got shit still cooking. So go ahead.
Okay.
What are you cooking, Tommy?
Broccoli and beef.
Beef and broccoli.
Yep.
Tom, I will say I don't know if this is an app, but the cooler than you attitude of going on the YouTube shows it's cringy to watch. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose.
What? I have no idea. What do you mean?
I don't know. It's either the YouTube shows. I understand it's silly. We're talking to a guy called Barstool Advisor, Menners.
Yeah, but I'm giving you credit. I'm talking about the show. What are you talking about? The cooler than you attitude. I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm relaxing.
I'm just getting a cool. I'm just getting a cooler than you. Maybe
I'm enjoying this. I'm happy to be here. I don't get what the cooler than you attitude is.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I apologize.
No, you're right.
No, you are right, Justin. Actually, I have to agree. You do give off, Tommy. You do give off this the big swinging dick. Maybe it's because your dick's 8.5 inches. I don't know, but you give off this
But why can't I just why can't I just be comfortable and just be me? Why can't I just be me?
And that's fair. It's just it's Augustus. You have something to say? Raise your
hand. It's a body language thing. And it's if you're comfortable and fine, that's you. It's just other people take it off that way. You can't change how other people think about you just by the way you're reacting.
Okay, but I'm engaged in the show. I'm listening to everything that everybody's saying.
Quinlan.
I'm not saying this as necessarily a criticism. You're just being you.
I'm sitting in my fucking apartment.
Hey, Quinlan. When Andrew Augustus is giving you advice on body language, you really got to look inward, brother.
I know.
Yeah, but all right.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, it's just I don't know, I'm into everything that we're saying. We're talking I'm.
No, you are.
It's a hangout, or is it if you want me to be more sit up and just tell me to sit up straight?
That's a good point. The original Mike and the Minifans, Mike. Do you remember? Does anyone else remember how Mike would describe it?
A hang.
It's a hang. It's hang with the boys. We're drinking beers.
If you remember, me and Mike, we ran that show for a while I was doing the comments. We would be.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a shot. So I think actually Killer Kowalski, one of the Justin haters, he wrote "Thank you, Justin" in the chat. So I think this is good for Justin, the haters to see the side of Justin coming out, getting some shit on from the boys. This is why I think. Do
you think I'm not taking this serious, Justin?
I think you're taking it serious, but I just like when I saw you get up to make your dinner and then you sit down and just use your phone for a minute. I was just like, and maybe I'm just paranoid. Maybe I'm just insane, but I do think you're taking the producer search serious. I think
but even like being here on a Friday night, like I want to be, like I could be anywhere, but I want to be here. Like, 'cause I want you guys to know me.
And I just wanted, I was just, I just don't know you enough to know your body language, but I was just pointing out that the body language.
Sure, I guess it looks like shitty. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Wow. But a lot. This is like a therapy session. I think I think Kirk's gonna love this episode. I think he's gonna say, you know what, I have way too many producer candidates now. Matters voice. What are you gonna say?
No. I agree. Maybe Tommy can ask somebody who's going to Socko to let them go in their car with him, because I think that's probably more.
I'm definitely not bigger than the show. Like I should but my goal here is to be a finalist, right? Like so it would be disappointing not to be a finalist, and I would just hate to go up to Socko and not be up there. So yeah, the competitive side of me that wants to fucking win this thing would not want to see somebody else win it. Yeah,
I would say you're not in the favorites category at the moment. Like
I would say,
if it's a race, I would say Augustus Montante.
Thank you, Justin.
Probably ahead. I mean, you're not far behind.
Okay, I'll take the advice of somebody that actually is around Kirk on a regular basis.
Okay, yeah.
Bill, what do you think? I see you got off mute. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, no, I was just I'll take myself off mute when I'm in a commercial break. So I haven't really. I apologize. I wish I could give 100% to this, but
maybe we should let you go. But just quickly, just give us your last. Anything you want to say to the Minifans and Kirk, because he loves this show, before you go into studio, and we'll let you go.
All I ask for is a shot. Give me a shot. I'll show you what I can do. And we'll. It's not going to be this week. It'll be the week following.
Yep.
Yeah, just give me a shot. We'll see how me and Kirk mix. I feel like me and him would get along very well.
Maybe don't say you're Pat's brother. Just walk that back.
He already knows that. So
lie about it again.
That strike against me, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I just want a shot, and we'll go from there. I mean, my work will speak for itself in the long run. So we'll go from there. I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm not picked, I'm not picked. I have a pretty good gig where I am right now.
Are you full time at 98.5?
It's not full time. No, it's part time. But I mean, it's still a good gig for what I got going on. So
great stuff.
You work your ass off over at 98.5, buddy.
Appreciate you, Tommy.
Well, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you in there soon.
I do have a lot of listener submitted stuff privately. So Douglas Kyle, not the ticket guy Kyle, said, is Montante missing the show tonight to go to Bruce a bad look? He's admitted to not being a big Bruce fan. What do you guys think about that?
Who cares?
Gustus, go ahead.
I was going to say, who cares where he is? If you wanted to go see Bruce, you go see Bruce. Who gives a shit?
Okay. Quinlan?
Got to see Bruce. I've never seen him. I want to see him.
Justin?
Do you know Montante's seen Bruce's cock at the gym? Like he proudly declared that on Mike and the Minifans. I mean, not Mike, on the main show, I think.
Oh, really? I must have missed that one. Justin, what do you think?
I don't think it helps him, but it also doesn't hurt him. I think he's just like a net zero for today. Like I think truthfully what hurts him is not being able to defend himself, because it was mentioned on the show today that he deleted the Rico Bosco take, and he hasn't done anything on Twitter about that. But I don't think he hasn't been able to go on and dig himself a deeper hole, but he also hasn't come on and filled that hole either. So it is what it is.
So we got some DMs for Hit the Post. Oh, everyone here is just praying John Drift's girlfriend won't want to move. That's her only chance. Oh, interesting. Do we
I
have?
think Kirk's looking at two producers. I actually think Kirk's looking at hiring two people for some reason.
Why?
Yeah.
I really think he's strongly considering the rotating producer
But he would need
style.
someone.
That's a cop
Ju-
out. That is a
No, but-
complete cop out.
No, but so this is what I'm thinking. Don't you think Justin could be the guy? There's a rotating producer, and Justin's there to make sure it goes on. It does all that stuff, and so he's like the associate producer, and then the rotating main producers coming in like once a week. You don't think that
No.
could work, or say an
Someone needs to
Augustus
be
or-
responsible. Someone needs to, it needs to be their job to make sure shit gets done. Because if you got a rotating crop, you just end up pointing fingers at everybody else.
Yeah,
I mean, I could probably actually be the CEO from Australia
Okay.
and just
Okay,
you know,
let's time the fuck
run-
out here.
just
The CEO.
you cannot have rotating producers. That was a joke.
I think the show has been on fire these past couple of weeks
Butcher.
with the rotating producer, but I do think eventually you're going to need a stay. Like if you just have like a thing where it's like, oh, Augustus comes in once, a couple times a month, so does Montante, but then it's like, oh, Montante's like, oh, I can only do this, and this, and then that's when the producers start to say, oh, we need to get Montante in a couple times, but he can only do next Thursday and this Tuesday. So let's try to I think you need like a solid full-time Kirk guy who's there 24/7.
Yeah, and if they fuck up, it's their fault, and they can get blamed for it.
Okay, so for Justin, so kind of a similar question. For Quinlan, hit the post, ask, why do you hate white guys?
I don't hate white guys. I'm just not interested in white guys. It's just who I date.
Okay.
It's a stupid question.
I'm just saying, I ask questions people get. It's not my questions.
Man of the people.
Augustus, why did you abandon the Wordle chat?
Oh, I just stopped playing Wordle. That's why.
All right. Well, you abandoned the producer role like you did the Wordle chat.
No, I will not. No, I will not.
Wordle chat.
Like I'll say,
This world's so funny. It was a KMS Wordle chat.
I got shit from the golf guys because it's now called Nipples and the Boys, and they're like, oh, you didn't give us a shout out. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I don't really play golf that much anymore.
To the group, this is from Lauren Lynn. Hey, how are you?
The best.
What is the single one best quality a producer can have, and tell me why you have it. So I'll start with Augustus.
For me, I would say it's to be able to take the punches and keep going. Just because that in this seat you're gonna get praise if you do it right. It's not gonna be overwhelming praise. It'll because he said, Dave, you did a good job on this. But if you fuck up, it's gonna be public. So you got to be able to handle that. Just from being in the room with him, be able to look at him and be like, all right, I fucked up here. And it's kind of, you have to have short-term memory loss for that, because you can't let that fuck up dictate your future. I fucked up a lot in my life, and it's trying not to fuck up as much.
Wow. Augustus is doing a great job today. I'm surprised.
What do you think, Tommy?
Tommy, go ahead.
Roll with the changes. I did not, when somebody said call your parents, like that was just, hey, just take the risk. Just fuck it. Just do it. Sometimes you just got to just go with it and go with your gut and don't be afraid.
Justin, what do you think?
I would say the best quality a producer in the KMS world can have is knowing when to let the talent work and when to interject yourself. Because I feel like there's been some times where, producers in the past have introduction themselves when Kirk's on a rant or Kirk's going off with a guest with either it be Whitney or Carabas, let them do the show and then know when to interject or be like, oh, I have a story. Don't necessarily be like, oh, I'm also interested in this conversation. If, Kirk and the guest are vibing and you're not a part of it, know when to be content and just kind of do the show.
Okay. What Killer Kowalski in the chat actually asked, will Augustus wear his cowboy boots into studio?
Once I find them, potentially.
Okay.
From when I lived out in Nevada, it was awesome. Fit right in.
You have cowboy boots?
I do. I lived in Nevada for 6 months. It was great. I've driven from Rhode Island.
Is that a requirement to living in Nevada?
It's a bunch of cowboys out there. We'd go after work, just go shoot skeet in the desert. It was nice.
Sounds like what
I think
Quinlan's doing tonight.
Hmm.
Sorry. I don't know. Is Fowl? Oh, this was a great question. Actually, is who's the mystery? Kirk has been alluding to this mystery producer. Who mystery man is Fowl or the mystery man? Who do you think the mystery man is? Menners, what you wanna chime in?
I have no idea who it is. I thought it was Pat's brother. I thought
I
that
thought
was
it
a
was.
mystery man.
I thought it was Bill too. That was my guess, but
I'd like it if it was Lucy Burge. I think she should get a shot.
oh yeah, for sure. Fit check. Lucy Bird doing fit checks before she goes on. The producer, like going in 6 a.m. fit check before it
Fuck.
produce. That would be
Jesus.
fucking awesome.
She gets it. She's got a good sense of humor. I don't think she listens to the show anymore, but she's a casual fan.
Yeah. What did I just ask?
Dark
Oh,
Horse
so
producer.
Who's the
The
secret
mystery
producer?
producer.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Producer.
Is
Who do you
Fowler
think?
it? That was on.
Yeah. Who do you think, Justin?
I have no idea. I thought at first it was DJ, the man of many names, DJ K.
Oh,
Mm.
that could be because he's maybe coming in with Steve.
I think didn't Kirk say at a show last week that Steve just hired him?
Oh, really? Did he say that?
I think at some point on the show
I may have missed
said that. But I thought it was DJ K at first, but then I thought Kirk confirmed it wasn't. So I have no fucking clue.
But I kind of think what you guys said about the producer job's kind of wrong. I think that like you need to be able to hang on air. That's fine. But Kirk in the end can make anyone interesting. It's actually all the behind the scenes stuff that is going to make this producer a successful one. Being good at the socials, coming with good material, interacting with the fans, doing, having good merchandise. Like that's all the stuff that Cullinane hasn't done. He's fine on the show. So, being able to take a punch or anything, I actually don't think it's the big thing. I think it's who can actually do the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So Manners, you would be like Montante doesn't have a shot.
No, I think he has a big shot. I think Montante is a really hard worker, smarter guy than people give him credit for. I wouldn't go to say he's a smart guy, but I think he's got a great shot. I do think there's some compelling applications from people like Andrew and Tommy that have actual experience doing it. So, it's a tough race. I mean, this is a brutal race. Like, good people are going to miss out. There's going to be great producers left on the cutting room floor, so to speak.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
wow, look at that,
Back in New York.
Johnny, how you doing?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, buddy?
How we
Can
doing?
you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
us
You
now?
hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Can you hear
So
me?
tell me, how
All right,
do you
perfect.
think you went today? How do you think you went today?
I think I was honestly pretty disappointed in myself from a technical standpoint. I felt like I understood. Yeah, it was bad. I felt like I definitely understood it better than I demonstrated. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But aside from that, I mean, I thought it went well. I had a lot of fun. Seemed to get along fine with Kirk and everybody. I like Justin a lot.
Yeah.
Nick, I mean, I like him a lot too. Like, kind of
So
fun. He got a ton of shit in this episode, but it was fun.
So John, I had a Minifan reach out to me.
Not a
I
fucking
had a
joke, you dickhead. Don't. Bad dog. Go away.
Ziggy, Mender's not realizing John Rich's drops for a joke was so embarrassing. I actually enjoyed the drops. I thought they were kind of funny. But so John, I had a guy reach out to me that you gatekeeped a parody song from rock opera. Can you confirm or deny this?
So I did ask Rock Opera about the parody song, and I just didn't get to it. Did I even ever get it? I forget if it even actually got it sent to me. I know I asked about it, and then I honestly think I just kind of forgot to check up on it.
Interesting.
Good
So
job.
parody songs were like huge part of the Kirk Minahan show, and rock opera has one of the more memorable ones. I forget which one it is.
I
but-
believe he did. Did he not do the Dale ghost hunting one?
Yeah, I think
No, that was
was that
no,
Warden?
was
Yeah. I reached out to Warden before I went on to see if he had any in the chamber because I love Warden songs.
Yeah,
Did
so that-
Rock Opera do Cullinane's been disappointing so far?
Rock Opera did. I've said it was a memorable one. I'm forgetting what the song is called. But so
Not a real
so
fan. What the fuck? You're not a real fan. You don't remember the bits? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Okay, good call, Clip. Okay, nice callback. But
so John, you said on the show you want to be part of the KMS world now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I would love to be. Yeah.
Welcome. Come on the network.
Because I actually think your pitch was I like the ideas you brought, the TikToks.
Well,
I
playing
think that's
video
where
clips was so revolutionary. I'm going to play some more video clips to slow the show down. Let's talk about a political story from 2 days ago that no one cares about. I mean, come on, stop fucking scratching this guy's belly just because he's new to the world and be fucking honest.
It's not a scratching of his belly thing, but I think if you're playing audio on the show that's incorporated with a video, like if they played Clemmers going after the guy from Bishop whatever it's called, if they had that video up just on the side, and if I'm watching on YouTube and see it, yeah, that enhances the view. I know what they're looking at.
I don't think Kirk wants to do that. He doesn't want the show to be reacting to clips.
Yeah, I was curious. I was curious what people would think about that because I wasn't sure, if you guys were all, so dedicated to listening to it through the podcast. I didn't want to come in and try to throw a wrench in that, and then all of a sudden you're listening to the podcast and we're playing videos every 10 minutes. That would be annoying.
But
Kirk doesn't want to watch videos every 10 minutes.
No, but Manners, I don't think he said. But Manners, so if there's a video and on the YouTube feed instead of just the sound, there's the video there. Why is that such a fucking?
That's not a terrible thing. And Manners, you said you don't think Kirk wants the show to be him reacting to clips. I'm not saying that's the entire show, but that's a big part of the show is Kirk's reaction.
It's a part of the
clips.
show. He's saying he wants to play clips all the time. I don't think that's what Kirk wants to do.
No, I don't think John came in and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to go through my For You page on TikTok, and we're going to say oh, do you think going through all these different dances?"
Okay, so then how is it different to what they're doing already? Then it's not
because if you're watching on YouTube,
if you're watching on YouTube, there's something where you could.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, it could be. It's just an idea. It's not.
For example, when we were playing, when we were talking about Dave's pizza review today, when we were trying to explain to Kirk who Dom of the Year was, pull that up real quick. Everybody at home can see it if they're unfamiliar with who he was too. Just real quick stuff. I don't want to try to make it into the yak where it's so heavily video reliant that completely changes everything. I mean, if that's what people end up wanting, that's a direction it would go. Then whatever, we'll do what people want. But I do think if we could even just do that, if you could drop a couple good funny clips per episode, I think that could add a lot.
Plus, long term, companies like Spotify and Apple are going to be doing, what, they're just going to incorporate more video podcasts. So what Kirk's doing on YouTube right now would probably end up on Spotify and Apple on a more regular basis in a year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and ideally that's where we'd want to be.
Well, you just said you wanted to on the show in your pitch. You said you use the yak as an example. So that's why I thought you wanted to make it more like yak. So,
yeah, well, I mean, I guess a little bit. I don't want to go
next time.
Yeah, that was kind of just an example. I don't want it to go.
That's the example I went off. Okay, if you're just going to add video to the clips they're already playing, then great. Fucking Einstein over there.
Yeah, but that's the foundation of what that's something. But that's the foundation of something you want to hear because the yak gets monetized. Shows
Cullinane's
but here's the thing.
Because they could
it goes
still
back
do
to what I said before. He brought forward something that's going to monetize the show further. So when we're talking about growing the show, part of growing the show is finding different ways to monetize it, monetizing it through the video. That's what he needed to hear today. He needed to hear there's different video aspects of the show.
YouTube. The show's on YouTube every
day. But when you're talking about incorporating clips, having a lower third of a video playing as Kirk is reacting to it can have that be sponsored by Crystal, for example. So it's there are definitely monetary aspects of the show that are still that are there that are up for grabs.
Right, and I don't see why.
That's different to
go
play.
Ahead, John. John, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see why with the Minifan like fan base, I don't see why it couldn't get closer to like 100K views an episode. I mean, I think that'd be a good goal because right now it's around 10 on YouTube. Obviously, you have way more podcasts. I don't know the exact podcast numbers because they're not out, but I think that's a step in that direction. And I mean, if you're getting that many views on YouTube, you're making a lot of money. You hire more people, get a couple more cameras in, so then we're actually kind of switching shots. Looks like a much more professional show. That's the idea. Like that's the goal.
They have the switcher there. So John, they already have the switcher there. They just don't use it. Like I saw it there when I was there last.
I guess that's true. I did see that. I could kind of learn to do that. That's really tough to do with one person. To worry about like playing the clips and everything, like like doing the camera switch. That's tough. But with one other person, you could do it.
And that's why I see this because like being in some ways a 2-person role. Like I do see like you know all of these different shows at Barstool. It's more than just one producer. Like Dave did take on a lot, but for what Kirk's show could be, you put 2 producers back there. I mean, the opportunities should be, if you have somebody competent back there that is understanding of what the show needs, could be endless.
I just don't know the budget. Absolutely. That's the problem. I mean, they're cutting. They cut 25%.
He said he would buy new equipment today. He just said today.
And I'm talking about for 2 producers, Tommy. I'm talking about for 2 producers. I thought the way the budget was, he's going to pay 1 producer. And if it's Mick, it'll be like 20 grand a year. But if it's anyone else, it's going to be like a decent wage. And then they need to bring in interns around it. And maybe there can be some small amount paid to someone because Shane was getting paid a bit. But I don't know if there's budget to hire 2 producers because both producers need to make enough money to make a living.
Yeah. Well, not yet, but if we could monetize it, then maybe there would be down the road.
Yeah. I think you do a great job as the second, John, for example. Like I think you'd be
also just to speak to back in the day, right? It was a big old school Minifans versus the Mincels. The Mincels were the Barstool fans. The OG Minifans were the WEI fans. And now 5 years later, I think there's a lot more people that are Mincels and more happy with the Barstool aspect of Kirk's show. Back in the day, he hated Barstool, or he would go after Barstool, hated K. Marco. Now, John has made a great point. Let's get him into more Barstool related content that he isn't already doing. The rundown.
I don't think he ever hated Barstool. I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
I mean, he's worked for him.
He just called people on their phone,
which he would still do today, he still does today.
And now I think, honestly, with Penn now being out of it, I think he can now fully kind of get back into the old Kirk gonna fight. Let's get some more spark, go after the idiot type of thing when it comes up.
Yeah. So what I was saying Kirk, I was saying the Minifans hated the Barstool, hated the Barstool.
Okay, I get that.
Sorry,
I just asked John something. Isn't it really hard? Like you've got 11 months left on your lease. Like I don't know the states. Isn't that really hard to get out of? Like, John?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
You said you've got 11 months left on your lease. Isn't that very difficult to get out of? Because in Australia, it's hard to break those, or you have to pay.
I mean, the
3 or 4
key
months.
to do it. I think the key to do it would be I could just get a sublet. I think that'd be my best option because I think a sublet at 11 months. I mean, people are looking to sign year-long leases, and I think there's people who'd be interested in staying somewhere for 11 months, not really having to sign a formal lease. Yeah, so I mean, I think that would be what I would try to do.
And then I guess out of percentage, what would you give the percentage that your fiance will say yes to the move?
Under 50.
Under 50%. So
under 50%.
Okay. So,
yeah.
All right. So yeah. So apart from having bad ideas, you probably can't even come.
I have a plan. I was kind of upset that not upset. I was kind of bummed she didn't answer the phone today. I was wondering if it'd be funny to have her give a negotiation with Kirk live on the show.
You might be single now, so you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, maybe. But no, I might just have to have her negotiate with Kirk directly live on air.
That'll be funny. But I think John Rich, I think even if he's not the producer, I liked what he said about helping out the show with social media.
Super nice guy.
I think that is something that Kirk, the KMS brand or network, has lacked with having a guy that's a Barstool guy there to kind of bridge the gap between Kirk and Barstool, and I think that's John's best quality right now.
And BA, just to kind of piggyback on that, I think all the producers here, if you're going to take away anything, it's listening to the other candidates' ideas and being able to recognize what is a good idea. And you know what? Just because John Rich came up with it doesn't mean if I were lucky enough to get the job, I couldn't do it. I would definitely think of something like John's idea with the Barstool. Love that. I like Tommy's ideas. Some of them. It's you can take other people's ideas, and you know what? It's okay. Like when Tim tried to bring up Minicon, that wasn't my idea. I was approached by Blind Mike's daddy about that. But that was just another kind of funny thing that just organically happened. So it's listen around. It's you don't have to be beholden to the only person you're beholden to is Kirk. So if there's you think there's something that's a good idea that can improve the show, give it a shot. And if it fails, you have to own it though. You can't say, oh, that was John's idea. No, I thought it would be a good idea too.
Right. Stop yapping. We got it.
Right, like
Tommy, how was your dinner? Tommy, how was
Thank you.
Good. Just checking.
I did have a question from Goldie. She said, "Who has the biggest dick out of all of you?" So Quinlan saying he has an 8.5 incher. I've always said Justin. He has a Hodor hog. Like I think he has like that special needs dick. Like his dick's just flopping. Augustus probably could have a special needs dick too. John, I don't know. Who do you think has the biggest dick out of this crew?
I'm just gonna say hashtag Kirk was right.
Kirk was right.
Kirk is right.
Oh, small dick.
Kirk was right.
Hashtag Kirk is right.
If Tommy's being real about that 8.5, I'm going to give it to him. I don't think anybody's topping an 8.5. No, I'm not.
I'm not even that tall, so.
Any Manners, do you want to wrap it up here and go take calls? I know everyone is asked. Oh, are any potential producer willing to block Jay from ever calling in? That's a great question. I think Jay's calls actually are.
I like blocking people, so yeah, I'd probably block him.
That's true. Justin wouldn't have a problem. What do you think, Manners?
I think any more questions from everybody? Anybody? You said you had questions from listeners. Did you go through them?
Most of them. Oh, okay, I said most of them. I might have a few more. One sec. Now that John's here,
and if Joe wants to put up any comments, we'll wrap it up. But I guess John, just what's your sort of first impressions of the Kirk Minahan world now that you've done a show? You're meeting the Minifans. What's your hot take?
Dude, I feel like you guys have been especially cool to me, and they're definitely, I don't know, it's weird because I think Minifans have like the highest percentage of fans that will like actually interact with you.
I'd agree.
Like if you look at like the actual number of like Barstool fans who are interacting with you, it's like under 1%. I feel like with the Minifans it's like 25%, which is actually like an insane number.
John, I think the Minifans are similar to like the old school Stoolies. Like they used to go out to Dave's events at these bars like 20 years ago. And the Minifans, like I'm in Canada. I've been to I'm going to be at my second live show. Manners from Australia has been to a live show in Boston. Augustus has been to probably every live show. So now
I haven't gone to the drive-ins yet, but I've gone to all the theater ones. Which
you think about the Minifans, all these guys now are actually friends in real life. Like back in the day, people were trying to dox each other and all this stuff, and then now all of them have met and had beers together. Like so, it's a pretty crazy world, but it's and I liked what you said on the show where you're like, I think Barstool are scared of the Minifans, and Minifans are like the wildlings, these crazy guys. But if you get to know us, I think we got the heart of gold, and we're people that like we want to get out there, we want to support the show, and we like having fun and just shooting the shit,
And yeah, and I feel like it's almost like oh shit, this train's about to leave. I was gonna say it's almost like a mini Barstool within Barstool. Like that's how Barstool started. It was
the Stoolies of the Stoolies.
With, like, it was people meeting up with like name tags at a bar with Dave there. And now turned into this whole thing, and it's almost like Minifans are just another version of that, like within there. And I don't think there's any reason that can't explode within the whole universe.
John, we had 50 people show up to the Kowloon to give Jared Carabas a send-off to going for trivia, and Jared didn't even show up.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right. My we love you, Jared thing.
oh my God, that's fucking brutal. Fucking Jared.
No,
I want to do a
he
show with
didn't have
Jared.
to be there. Jared's the man.
I think it became better content because Jared wasn't there. Just a bunch of us psychos together at the Kowloon.
Became not.
I mean, that's
content. I don't
hilarious.
think it was talked about on the show.
Yeah, that's
It
very
looks like we're
hilarious.
keeping Tommy up, so maybe we should wrap this up.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Tom.
No,
I think Tom,
I'm literally sitting here listening. Like, what the fuck?
I
I've
know.
been on since
It's so
4 a.m. Like,
Tommy, you're a
holy
funny
shit.
guy. Tommy, you're a funny guy to like make fun of, though. I think that's a good quality, though. If you think of a
Definitely.
producer, like I like just sitting here, like I could think of like 15 chirps just to fucking right now.
But, like,
but I was
here's
gonna
the thing.
say Tommy
but
looks
here's
like
the
he's
thing.
waiting.
I can take it. I can.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, you-
I'm enjoying this. I'm happy to be here. Like, I really do enjoy being part of this shit. Like, I want to be part of this. Like, my job knows I'm going for this. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, that's great.
I'm leaning. Like, so let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Right.
I think we can wrap it up.
But here, can I just say one
go
more
ahead,
thing?
Quinn.
I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
learning. Like, again, I agree to a certain extent. There's places where I got to make up, right? From a behind the scenes standpoint. So, I'm trying to get a better sense of what you guys want. So it's better for me to be here than
Me
just
too.
guess.
Just do what Augustus said he's going to do and just steal everyone else's good ideas.
That's true. I could do that too.
It's not stealing. It's just if someone thinks of
It's all
something.
right, man. I'm just laying it out there. I mean, you said it.
No, I'm with you. Feel free. If I don't end up being the producer, then take all my ideas, man. That's what I'd want.
You stole my TikTok idea, but look who's counting.
I'm sorry, I forgot you invented TikTok.
All right, boys. Well, it's great. John, thanks for coming on. I know it was a battle for you, but so I really appreciate the effort. Quinlan,
Yeah, of course, guys.
Quinlan, always a pleasure. Keep. I hope you get a lot of ass now. And Justin, Augustus,
You
thanks,
say you hope
Justin,
I get a lot
thanks
of
for-
ass now?
Yeah. I hope so. I hope like coming out, you get a lot of ass, brother.
I was
Kill it,
getting
man.
ass before.
Can you?
Okay,
Can
well, I
you,
hope you get more.
can you send some? Can you, BA? Can you hope I get asked too?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Am
Well,
I
we know
fucking
you like
am I
the.
fucking Taco? Is that what's happening now? I heard I'm tickling your prostate. Is that what we're doing?
No, but Justin is a big fan of the paralyzed box, I think. So on that note, we'll end it off. And thank you, boys. And go to Menors Live. I'll be on the comments. I'll be the comment guy there, and he's taking calls.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Sounds good,
boys.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee, it's Mike and the Minifans.